Happy Monday, CH family. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another program. Today, we're going to be talking about something very, very helpful for you, especially if you're here because you're somebody who you feel like food kind of runs your life. It's in control of your health right now. It's really making you kind of scared for your future, just how you feel about yourself, your health, your body, the way it's looking. This is going to be very helpful for you. If you're also somebody who has been on the yo-yo dieting train for years and years and years and still struggling with your health and your fitness and your body, and you're at a point right now where you're feeling so lost and confused, like you know there's so much information out there, but you just don't even know what to do with it all, this is going to be super helpful for you as well. Okay, so without further ado, guys, let's dive in. Today, as you can see on the title, we're going to be talking about the natural Ozempic, how to stay full and lose fat effortlessly. Okay, you see people on Ozempic, the ones who it is working for, and it's like they lose weight so easy. They don't even try. Most of them don't work out, yet they're losing weight like crazy. It's falling off their body. How are they doing this? Right? Is it something magical? Like same thing with these shakes, and I see my friends trying these other diets and they're just dropping weight like crazy. And I'm over here working my butt off and nothing's working out for me. What's going on? If you feel like you're in those shoes right now, I'm telling you, you're not alone, and this is going to change everything for you. Because let me ask you guys this. What does, what two things does Ozempic diet pills, like those fat burning pills, the shakes that you can take daily, and strict diets all have in common? What do they all have in common? What two things? Number one is that they're all designed to keep you full. They're all designed to keep you full. Now, Ozempic was originally designed to help people with diabetes, get their health on track. But as you can see, most people nowadays use it for weight loss, not even just obesity, but just weight loss in general. Now, number two is what's the other thing they have in common? Number two is that they're never sustainable long term, unfortunately. You know, when we see, and this goes across the board, when we try any kind of diet, even personal trainers, so many things. If you look at the statistics of how many people who lose their weight trying these things gain it back, it's like around 90% plus. 90% plus. And the statistics nowadays, I believe it's like over 70%, I believe, of Americans are now overweight or obese. And one third, I believe, of all deaths are coming from heart disease or some sort of condition with the cardiovascular, which most of the time can be solved through healthy lifestyle changes. So this is a huge deal. This is a huge deal. And especially because if we do these like crazy strict approaches like these Ozempic and these diets and we don't do it properly, mind you, I'm not against anything, do whatever you want. But if we do these things and we don't do them properly, we don't understand how our body works for weight loss, muscle preservation, etc., we're going to lose so much muscle mass. Some reports show that when you specifically take Ozempic, 30 to 40% of what you lose is actually your muscle. Now, same thing for the fat burning pills, the shakes, and these strict diets. If we don't train and we don't do it properly, we lose so much muscle mass, which is already just asking to live much like younger of a life. Because your muscle mass is so important for your longevity. So important. You know, it's what's going to help you prevent injury, help you live an easier, healthier life. If you don't have it, you don't get to use it, right? So the less we move, the less we burn calories, the more weight we gain. Like it's such a massive spiraling effect. We need our muscle mass. So today I'm going to share with you guys on 6 habits that you can adopt that can make changes happen for your weight loss, your health goals, etc., as easy almost as Ozempic, almost as taking these pills and all these other approaches. Okay, so I'll share with you 6 natural habits that you can adopt that are going to make you feel like you're on Ozempic or these fat burning pills and melting fat effortlessly. Because here's the thing, true change doesn't come from doing something external. That's why 90% of people who lose weight gain it back is because we're always searching for something external to fix when in reality what we need to fix is the internal. In order to change, truly change, you must change yourself, right? Doing a diet temporarily without permanently changing your ways of being is just asking for the weight to lose and then come back just as quick because your old habits will always drag you back to your old ways of being. So I'm going to share with you these 6 habits that you can adopt moving forward. So that way you're not stuck on that yo-yo constantly up and down, but you're also not lost and confused and wondering if you need to start training like a bodybuilder to lose weight because you don't. All right. It's much easier than you think. So let's dive in here, guys. So the very first one, number 1 for today is more water. The average woman should be drinking around 92 ounces of water daily. That's the average woman. Okay. We need to be drinking more water because here's the thing is that if you don't drink enough water and if you're dehydrated, your body's actually going to crave food because you get a lot of nutrients, you get a lot of water from food. So your body will naturally crave food. So the first step first is get this out of the way is start drinking a ton more of water. Easiest way to habit stack is as soon as you wake up, before you go to bed, when you're using the washroom, when you're eating your meals, drinking water constantly, 1 to 2 glasses or so of water at those times there. But more water is the first one to help you keep hydrated and curb off those cravings. All right. Number 2, the second one that we can do here is sleep optimization. I go over this a ton, and it's so important. Obesity is connected with poor sleep. Okay, it's connected with poor sleep. We need to make sure we're sleeping properly at nighttime, not only for the benefits of your mental health and your energy levels, because that's going to play a huge role in your weight loss, but also with managing your hunger hormones, your leptin and your ghrelin. Those are your hunger hormones. And if you do not sleep properly at nighttime, if we're not getting enough sleep, it's going to mess with our hunger hormones. So by sleeping properly, you're already optimizing your hunger hormones so that way they're balanced as best as possible. So you're not getting those crazy random cravings here and there as much. So that's number 2 is sleep optimize. Now I recommend getting on a good solid sleep and wake routine, not just going to bed on time and waking up on time, getting both on track. Try and be as consistent with that as possible. A nighttime routine to help you get into like that nighttime mode, right? Not taking any sugar or caffeine before bed so we can have a deep sleep. Also watching it with the alcohol and getting consistent with that there. Okay, sleep is going to be a game changer for you if you're not getting enough sleep in. Now, number 3. Number 3 is a very simple habit you can adopt is a palm of protein every single meal. Whenever you go to eat, make your protein your number 1 focus. So if you're going out for dinner and if you notice you're not having as much protein, maybe instead of a side of fries, ask to double up on your protein. Hey, can I get an extra piece of fish or meat instead of fries? Or just in general, making protein the number 1. Instead of getting that pasta that you typically get, maybe try to get the salad with the chicken. Something like that, or a steak at least, a steak and some potatoes or something along the lines there. Just make sure you fill your plate with high protein. Okay, it's really going to help you out there. Is 1 pound protein every single meal, but more importantly, just focusing on fueling your body and making protein the number 1 focus when it comes to your meals. I would suggest moving forward, never have a meal again without protein in it, a good amount of protein. Make that an easy rule of thumb and that will set you up for success a long ways. Now, number 4. Number 4, guys, is if you're wondering about your portion sizes, the easiest way to do this is number 1, slow down your eating. So setting a timer if you need to eat within that time frame, 10 to 15 minutes, as it takes time for your gut to tell your brain that you're full. So if you're someone who's constantly hungry, especially after meals, and you give them the cravings after meals, putting up a timer and slowing down your eating will really help you a ton. So really taking your time, being mindful as you eat, and really seeing when you are actually full and not just overeating. A lot of us grew up with parents who were like, you have to eat every single thing on your plate, which can be helpful, but also can bite us in the butt later in the road, right? Trying to stuff everything into our mouths when we're already full and we're eating too much. So smaller plate as well, because this is going to allow you to naturally take less food onto your plate. So for example, if you're out at a buffet, if you're eating somewhere, grab the smallest plate, take your time with eating 10 to 15 minutes before going back to seconds, and that will help you really notice if you are actually full or not. Okay. Now, another little hack as well there, guys, which I didn't add in here, is you can also have a soup before you eat. Soup before you eat will naturally help you eat less calories overall in your meals. Now, number 5, Number five is basically like the fat burning pills because fat burning pills, if you look at them, they're mostly full of caffeine because caffeine keeps you full. It's an appetite suppressant. So number five is caffeine, natural appetite suppressants, coffee, green tea, things like that. That's going to help keep you full naturally. You can use this to your advantage. Don't go over, for the average person, don't go over 400 milligrams of caffeine a day. That's for the average person, and also not after 3 p.m. But for me, for example, I lost 40 pounds. And what I did was I would not eat any real food until about 12, 1 p.m. or so. I would have just coffee, I'd have honey, so have some calories, and that would keep me full. And then after my first meal, I'd have coffee again all the way up until about 3 p.m. And then that would keep me full until my second biggest meal of the day. And that helped me so much with losing 40 pounds because I was full all the time. So, ways that I kept full was number one, caffeine, which was coffee, sometimes pre-workout. But having coffee was keeping me full. Honey and salt as well. So, honey and salt, natural little pre-workout, give you that boost in those electrolytes. That would also keep me full. Lots of water intake. But just caffeine in general. Caffeine in general helped make my weight loss so easy. Just make sure you don't abuse it. All right. And then that leads me to number six, guys, the last one here, which is one of the easiest ways to set ourselves up for success, which are not a lot of us thinking of it, but it's very helpful, is meal timing. Adding structure to your meals, but more specifically, meal timing. Setting up your meals for when you know that you get your hungriest is going to be a game changer. And this is why I'm always huge on that. This is not a one size fits all journey, right? Some people say eat 6 meals a day. Some people eat 2 meals a day. I think you should do whatever fits you best personally. What's going to set yourself up for the easiest success and also be sustainable long term. And then let's build that there. But meal timings plays a big role. If you get if you get cravings at nighttime, maybe your last meal of the day should be 3 hours before bed and not 6 hours before bed, for example, right? I know a lot of people that I work with and just people in general, they'll have their last meal of the day at 5, 6 p.m. They won't go to bed till about 11 p.m. and they'll be super hungry around 9 p.m. But it's because their last meal was at 5 p.m., right? So we need to switch that over a little bit later on. So that's the training for today, guys. Those are the 6 habits that you can adapt or adopt to make your weight loss as easy as Ozempic and fat burning pills and all this stuff. But the best thing about this approach is that when you change yourself in your ways and your habits, the changes stick. And it stays forever. And that's the key here, is that we're not looking to lose weight and feel better for, a month and then lose it all and go back and suffering back to our old ways. We want a permanent shift in our lives. And if that's what you're here for, changing yourself is the way to go. I get it. It's so easy to want to give into these shiny objects, right? Well, all these girls are doing it. It's so easy. And why should I just not do it? Go do it if you want to. At the end of the day, it's up to you. But I'm just saying that if you want a real permanent shift, real permanent changes comes from within. It comes from changing yourself, your ways of being, and that's how you'll truly transform yourself for the rest of your life. So if you want this to be worth it, do it right the first time around so you don't have to keep going around and around on this cycle, on this battle of weight loss. You got this, 100%. If you need any help, guys, as always, I'm always here to support you. I'm just one message away on Instagram at coach.hayward. Message me CH for some details on what that would look like. And if you need any more help, I'm always one message away to help you out as best as possible. And other than that, try these 6 habits out. Let me know below, guys, what you think about this training today, your thoughts. Leave a review, a like, a comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next program. Have an amazing day. You got this.